Would you like to hold?
I would. I'm gonna get him nice and secure. Though.
There you go. Such a cool lizard.
These are. I will never pass up an opportunity to hold either one.
Oh, they're just such an awesome lizard. She's actually going through shed right now. Her eyes are opaque, and this is honestly the most dangerous she can be when she's going through shed, because as you know, when a snake goes through shed, they're basically blind, and they just see a little bit of shadows, and they become way more defensive than usual. So what do you think?
She's unreal.
She's pretty dang real, I'll tell you that.
She is.
She's
very, very serious thing, and I'm really impressed by your understanding of her behavior.
Look at this. My lace monitors are freaking out. Look at my lace monitor's tail right now. This is instinct for the lace monitors. Deep in their genetics, deep in their history, they know instinctually if they see a snake, they must avoid it. Because since they come from the land down under, almost every snake out there will put them on the menu. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to my wild life. I'm currently hanging out in the snake house, and today we're going to be... Is that Clint? What the heck? Hey! What's going on, dude?
Hey, neighbor.
What's up?
I was just in the neighborhood. I thought I'd drop by and see how you're doing.
You want to come see the snake house?
Oh, do I?
Where's your family? Didn't you come on like a vacation?
Yeah, I left them in the van.
Okay, that's fine. We're going to take out a King Cobra in a minute anyways. It's probably safer that way. Guys, we got Clint's Reptiles here.
Oh, hi there.
All the way from Ohio? No,
Utah.
Utah, sorry. I always
Even
get that.
farther.
And you've been coming down and hanging out in the South Florida scene quite a bit.
That is absolutely. I'm addicted now.
It's about time you finally come see the snake house.
I've never been here.
You want a little tour?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Show you a little bit of what we do out here?
Absolutely.
Alright, first on the tour. Lace monitors. Take a look at the Bell's Phase lace monitor. That's Jack. And he's roughly...
back in there.
Oh yeah, I got my other lace monitor in there. She's just a normal coloration. And we got Jack right here. He's going on like 3 feet long, and he's around 8 months old. He's become quite a little beast. As you can see, he's been making plenty of spicy meatballs in there.
I genuinely think this might be the best pet monitor. Like obviously Aki's for more people.
Yeah, size-wise.
But you know, if you want a decent-sized monitor that like has all the monitorness.
Yeah. All the monitorness.
Incredible. They're just so
I definitely agree. If you got experience with monitor lizards, these are definitely one of the top monitor lizards. And I say it all the time on my channel, this is my second favorite monitor lizard on the planet. First being the Parenti, right after that is the lace monitor. It's just such a badass animal. He's such a beast of a lizard. And soon, at the new facility next year, these guys will be getting a huge walk-in enclosure. So I'm very excited for the expansion of all these enclosures.
And that changes your relationship with a monitor so much.
For sure.
When you can come in and it can get away from you if it wants to. You can just spend time, share the same space. It takes down the stress level. Amazing.
So, we've got all kinds of cool stuff in here. I've got green anacondas in here as well. They're non-venomous, of course. And when people come to the snake house, of course, they want to hold snakes.
And there's few snakes more exciting than an anaconda.
And what's better than holding a baby green anaconda? That is just too cool. As an educational ambassador for these people to hold when they come and visit.
These are the smallest green anacondas I've ever held, and what's super cool is they still do this super slow aquatic snake tongue flicks even when they're little.
Yeah, they're real laid back. I love these little ladies. Now, although I love these snakes very, very much, and it being just such a badass ambassador species, I've got to show you the other snakes in here. The ones that we can't really handle too much with our hands, but
yeah, not me anyway.
We'll get to that in a second.
I know a guy though.
You know a guy? Let's see, let me lock this up, make sure it's nice and secure. We've got the Colette Snake in here from Australia, a really cool species of snake. It's in the Pseudechis family, so it's in the same family as red belly blacks, the plain black snakes, king brown. All those different snakes are some of the most potent venomous snakes on the planet, and the Colette Snake is one of the most beautiful. I'm actually going to pull this one out because I do want you to see it.
All right.
So
I think I might stand back a little bit.
I'll get you a snake hook. And guys, for you wondering out there, Clint has worked with venomous reptiles before, and when he comes down here, he's technically working under my permit, so this is how he's able to legally work with my venomous reptiles.
I know my weaknesses, and so I let the
Was it venom?
Yes.
It's my weakness too. So this is a gem of the snake.
That is glorious.
This snake is not just gorgeous, but also very difficult to find in its native range of Queensland, Australia. They're only found in some of the most very remote parts. And if you just get a good look, this snake is just so beautiful. Look at that red pigment. This snake is incredible. And some of these Colette snakes will come in much brighter forms. Like this one's a little dark, and she's probably going to go through shed soon. And her name is Meatball, or his name is Meatball. And Meatball is just a beautiful snake. Of course, he just crawled over my boot, but that's okay. Those boots are pretty tough, and they can handle that short fixed fang if they decide to chew down. What do you think of the snake?
It's absolutely unreal.
Yeah, this snake is gorgeous. And what's really interesting is, like the red-bellied black snake, if you were to take a bad bite from this species and you survive the bite, you could lose your sense of smell and taste permanently for the rest of your life, or up to 5 years, if you survive the bite. So let's not get bit.
That's a good idea. Here, I'm gonna.
There you go.
We'll put things back over to you. I
I'm
have
gonna
two
right back inside that enclosure. We're gonna move on because we got plenty of snakes. There's literally around 70 snakes or so in my collection.
That was unreal.
Yeah, pretty cool. Have you seen many Colette snakes before?
Never. I've never seen one.
It's really hard to see species from Australia because, as you know, Australian species, they're not allowed to get exported out of the wild. And if anything goes wrong, we do have the bite protocol, which is required with the permits for venomous reptiles here in Florida. So every species is cataloged in here. There's the treatment for their bite, what kind of anti-venom, and the closest route to the hospital and numbers of venom ones. So everything we need is in here, just in case something happens.
Hot diggity!
Let's see, we have the Wagner's Pit Viper. They're from Southeast Asia.
So
I'm sure this is a top favorite for you. This is one of the most beautiful
absolutely.
vipers out there. And what I like to tell people is that there's actually temples that worship snakes in Malaysia and some parts of Southeast Asia where they have these animals on little podiums, little bamboo podiums. There's a bunch of Wagner's Pit Vipers on them, and they're so laid back that tourists that come in there to get photos with snakes, they give them a non-venomous python to hold for a photo, and then they take the venomous Wagner's Pit Viper and they put them on the heads of the guests. And you can actually see photos of people doing their little photo ops, holding a python and having 2 or 3 Wagner's Pit Vipers on top of their head. That's wild. That's real wild. I think you and me need to go visit that temple one day.
absolutely.
All right, so I gotta show you this snake, but for this one,
Yes.
I'm gonna need this hook a little bit longer.
And I might give you a little space.
This species of snake is notorious in the world of vipers. This is Lechisus muta, the world's longest viper on the planet, with an extremely feisty feeding response.
Yeah,
That is part of why they're so dangerous, along with that extremely accurate set of heat pits on their face, making them one of the most accurate strikers in the world of snakes. These guys know exactly where to get a rodent to kill it, right over the back into the lungs, injecting large amounts of that venom. And Lechisus muta, that scientific name, is supposed to translate to silent death. And if you look right here, look at this. My lace monitors are freaking out. Look at my lace monitor's tail right now. This is instinct for the lace monitors, deep in their genetics, deep in their history. They know instinctually if they see a snake, they must avoid it, because since they come from the land down under, almost every snake out there will put them on the menu. Whether it's a python that will wrap them up, squeeze them to death, or if it's a venomous mulga snake that will pump them full of venom and eat them up. So you can see these monitor lizards are being very wary when they see the Bushmaster come out.
That was awesome.
But look at this. You get a good look at the Bushmaster. I don't know if you've ever really seen this feature, but if you were to look at the tip of this snake's tail, you'll notice there's like a thorn right there. They have a modified scale that looks like a rose's thorn, and that's actually used to vibrate the leaves around them to sound like a rattlesnake.
Okay.
Very interesting species. Not many snakes have this little thorn-like scalation on the tip of their tail.
That's something actually that I've been really interested in for years, because you hear about imitation of rattlesnakes. Rattling is a really beneficial behavior for scaring off predators, because a snake, like to a human, a snake loses a fight with a human every time. Human might die afterward, but this, if
The snake's gonna lose.
immediately. And so anything you can do to try to scare something off works.
I want you to feel that tail right there. Just feel it with your thumb right here. Feel that. What does that feel like?
It's very, very rough, like the back.
Pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple, or maybe the back of a very, very large sand boa.
Yeah, so these guys, she's just coming into adulthood where her scales are starting to get real spiky, but when she becomes full grown, these little spikes will be like pineapple spikes. They'll protrude so much, about like half a centimeter or so. And I'm gonna gently put her right back in the enclosure because like I said, there are lots of snakes in here I wanna show you. And she's just one of many. Isn't that cool? Lechisus muta, the Bushmaster.
She's glorious.
The largest of all the vipers on the planet and all the Bushmasters.
You were telling me something about the size of her fangs already.
Oh yeah, the size of her fangs right now, at 2 years old, her fangs are just as long as a 10-year-old gaboon viper crossed with a Rhino Viper. So that just shows you how large the fangs are of these snakes.
That's insane.
And it's something to definitely respect, because when they bite down on something, in at least a feeding response, they pump it full of venom to the point where the venom flows out of the bite wound and onto the rat itself because of how much venom they'll pump into their prey. Let me lock that enclosure because, like I said, we want to make sure everything's nice and secure.
This seems like a good plan.
And next, let's see, we have my green tree monitor.
That's one of the few animals that I actually have that's in here. I adore them.
I love green tree monitors. I'm so excited for the future because I'd like to do a big walk-in enclosure with multiple green tree monitors. Have like a trio in there, ropes hanging all over the place so they can get nice exercise because this is not a big enough enclosure. This animal needs way more space. We have a smooth front caiman right here that I can pull out real quick.
I like that.
Look at that. And this one's name is Blue.
What a perfect name.
Yeah. After the raptor in Jurassic Park.
We just went to lunch and we were talking, my wife and I, and you got that Owen Chris Pratt voice. It's the voice, and you are the real life version of Owen from Jurassic World. Look at this.
Oh, I'm the real version. What's up, Owen? What's up? What do you know? Come out and visit me, Owen. Come visit me at the new facility. Let's feed crocs together.
Do it.
All right, now let's see. We have eyelash vipers from Nicaragua. Beautiful.
That's probably the only hot snake I would ever seriously consider myself.
Well, you got a facility back home, and I think if you were to have a venomous snake on display, this would be a good one because it's a snake that you technically would never really have to handle.
Nope.
You could set up in a bioactive enclosure and barely have any maintenance.
All the awesome head structure and everything of other vipers. You know, you got those big L'Oreal heat pits.
Yeah.
They got it all. And yet, you know, it's not a super dangerous snake.
Yeah, it's like,
keep your distance.
Obviously the Mambas, the King Cobras, and some of the other cobra species, they're just very intense snakes, very athletic. Yes. This is a snake that is, for the most part, easy to manage. Not saying for anyone out there that this is a good pet.
No.
Clint is an educator and he has a facility with wildlife on display. I would never recommend any venomous reptile as a pet. No crocodilian, nothing. This is all for educational use. All right, so let's give you that hook. We're not going to be taking out too much. Childish Gambino, he's a Rhino Viper crossed with a Gaboon Viper, a naturally occurring hybrid out in Africa because their habitats overlap. He's going through shed right now, so he's looking a bit dull in coloration, so I'm not going to be messing with him.
Oh, look at that head.
And quite a few snakes have eaten last night and the day before.
That's
so
fine.
A lot of these snakes we're not going to be handling right now, we're just going to check them out. But one of the most notorious snakes in the snake house does need a clean, Justina the King Cobra.
Oh boy.
So let's check out the rest of what we got going on. We got albino monocled cobra right here. She's a sweetheart that was given to me by a friend. This is the Papuan black snake, which is a species of snake that you're rarely going to see outside of Papua New Guinea. We're rarely seen in the U.S. in any collections, private or zoological displays. This is just such a hard snake to come across. And their venom's no joke. Out of all the Pseudechis family members, which they're in the king brown family,
yes,
that's the most venomous.
I don't make a habit of joking about a lapid venom, but here we are.
You know,
This venom particularly.
This one particularly, stay away from it. And then we got my big forest cobra, my West African forest cobra, which is the world's biggest true cobra on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna go hang out with the false cobra, the world's biggest king cobra, or the world's biggest cobra, but not a true cobra in a sense.
But you know, it's interesting because you got a black mamba over here, and so the king cobras are more closely related to the mambas than they are to the true cobras. But not very long ago, they just threw the mambas in, and then you got a good monophyletic cobra clade. We can keep king cobras in there.
And we were talking about yesterday.
Just gotta add some friends.
They used to say Naya for mama, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
It's crazy. We got Gila Monsters in here.
This is one of my favorite lizards in the world.
You want to see some Gila Monsters?
I love Gila
Okay,
Monsters.
let's see
I will
some.
never pass up an opportunity to see Gila.
This is my big male. He is a northern Arizona Gila, so he's got these beautiful colors. Look at that.
He is so gorgeous.
He is. He's honestly one of the most beautiful Gila monsters I've ever seen in my life. Look at him. And he can be a little bit defensive, but he's not as mean as his girlfriend. I'll tell you that. Would you like to hold?
I would. I'm gonna get him nice and secure though.
There you go. Such a cool lizard.
These are. I will never pass up an opportunity to hold a Gila monster.
Oh, they're just such an awesome lizard. And you know what? This is another lizard that should never be classified as a pet. If it's got venom, it should not be a pet, in my opinion. Because people don't realize, although you're not going to die from the venom of a Gila monster, you're going to wish you were dead.
Day.
Yeah, you can end up being in some agonizing pain for days, puking, cold sweats, all kinds of nasty feelings going throughout your body. It's not something you'd want to endure. So you definitely would want to give respect to these guys, and I would never consider them a pet. just a great educational ambassador for the
Exactly.
species.
What I love about them is they're a lizard that lots of people know to fear, and then they find out what pleasant little guys.
Yeah,
they
really are. It's just a simple little lizard that likes to hide out in the rocks and likes to eat quail eggs and little mice. And what's really cool, I don't know if you've seen the skull of these lizards, but their skulls are bumpy themselves. They have a very primeval looking skull, as well as those teeth. When you get a good look at their teeth, let's throw a picture of a skull in the corner of right there. You can see how gnarly those teeth are, somewhat curved, very sharp. Not something you would want to take a bite from.
It's one of my favorite skulls in the animal kingdom, and a good friend of mine, his name is Anthony Simone, he recently gifted me. It's a recreation of a Gila Monsters.
Oh, cool, bone clone.
And it's so incredible. I'm always tempted to let him lick me on the nose, and I know I should.
All right, on that note, let me take this lizard.
Yeah, probably wise.
And we'll move on to something, and we'll move on to something a little more hectic. All right, so what we got here is an Arizona black rattlesnake, beautiful specimen.
Unbelievable.
This was a gift from a friend of mine who's a biologist, and this animal is just breathtaking. This is probably the prettiest Arizona black rattlesnake I've ever seen, just because it's got like a purple hue to its sides, and then it's got that gold flaking on the top.
I've been admiring this one. It is, it's just unbelievable.
And then I hear some hissing. Do you hear hissing? That hissing's coming from down here. Some cranky
some sort of a
puff adders.
Some sort of a weirdly named creature. What, they would hiss?
Yeah, I don't know. It's, they walked up, the explorers were like, oh, this snake is hissing at me. Let's call it a puff adder. This is a real gem right here, the pygmy mulga, also known as the dwarf king brown. So it doesn't get nearly as big as the true king brown, getting up to 8 feet. This species only gets around 4 to 5 feet long, but it is just as dangerous when it comes to its venom. A snake that definitely deserves respect.
Yeah. There aren't a lot of things in here that don't deserve a lot of respect.
So let's see, we've got baby black mamba in here, but I don't see the black mamba.
That's what you want to hear.
And we've also got our eastern diamondback rattlesnake, the Florida classic right here, the world's largest species of rattler, getting upwards to 8 feet long being the record. Actually, it was 8 foot 2 inches, I believe was the record. But usually you see these guys around like 4 to 6 feet long. And this snake is just a beautiful specimen.
They're one of my favorite animals in the world.
Oh,
the eastern diamondback in particular. It's a special place in my heart.
Second favorite rattlesnake for me on the planet. First being the Yuracoan rattlesnake from Venezuela. All right, so here's the moment of truth. We need to clean Justina, my female King Cobra. She ate not too long ago. She had python, so she's done. Actually, no, she's not done digesting, but she has digested quite a good portion. And as you can see, it's very dirty in here. And I know you're used to cleaning up snake poop, so you can give me a hand today.
Oh boy.
So we can see how Justina is. Now she still has food digesting in her belly, so I've got to be very careful. I have a can full of lukewarm water ready for her to go so we can soak her. She is nothing like Kevin, my really big King Cobra down here. Kevin can be a little more forgiving and a little more placid because of how gentle I am with him handling. But Justina, I've known her since I was 17, 18 years old. And she has always been a firecracker. She will try to bite if she gets the opportunity. So that being said, are you ready?
Well, I
admire Kevin?
Kevin, I've seen Kevin in your videos for a long time. I've seen a lot of King Cobras.
And he's the best.
The head on him, though. That head, it's like a baseball.
He's got his venom glands for sure.
And he's unbelievably impressive in person. Okay, so you put me somewhere where I'm not going to get in your way.
Let's see, the can's ready to go, we got a lid ready to go. Let's see how this goes. What I'll do first is take out this tortoise shell.
Here she comes.
And now that I'm getting a good look at her, she's actually going through shed right now. Her eyes are opaque, and this is honestly the most dangerous she can be when she's going through shed, because as you know, when a snake goes through shed, they're basically blind and they just see a little bit of shadows and they become way more defensive than usual. And when it comes to being defensive, Justina has already got that in her, so it just makes things a little more complicated. Alright, and I'm going to try and just use my snake hook. Okay, there we go. Big girl. And this is Justina, a beast of a King Cobra. And we'll get her a little bit distracted. Just a little bit of movement to keep her focused. So you'll notice that her coloration is definitely different from Kevin. Her being an Indonesian King Cobra, she is much darker. She's got that olive coloration. So you can see in her eyes, she's very opaque. She can't see, so that's just why she's so defensive right now. And she's looking really good. I don't know if you noticed this, but she's a thick little girl. She's got some good size to her. She ate a good sized python. She's definitely got a good body weight to her.
She's incredible.
So let me see, I'm gonna move just a little bit. Nice methodical movements. So I can come over here. So what do you think?
She's unreal.
She's pretty dang real, I'll tell you that.
She is.
She's
very serious, and I'm really impressed by your understanding of her behavior. You're very engaged with her, and that's why you're able to manage her. Because I mean, I don't think there's any way I could get over there and manage her and have it go well. You know, it would be extreme. Yeah, you know, the learning curve is steep. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving isn't for you.
Yeah, I don't think you got a couple chances with skydiving.
But you know, you can tell. With everything you were doing, you were reading her body language. She's reading you too, right? You know how to bring down the tension, and that was really impressive to watch.
Okay, well, you know, we'll see how impressed we are now, because now I have to get her into that can. I'll tell you what, she's not going to want to go willingly. And for the most part, I'm going to try. You know, I tried to say in the last video that I'm not going to be free handling snakes on the channel anymore because I don't want to be the person who got a little kid to go free handle venomous reptile, as well as I have my other reasons of not doing it. It's a skill set that I have to handle these animals to make them comfortable, but when it comes to filming this for publication on the channel, I want to try and use more tools, just so people just don't think it's so easy, because it's not easy. If you try to walk up to a King Cobra like that, thinking you can just pick it up, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Something I want to point out with these, because I have handled some King Cobras, not this large. Just because you're using a snake hook does not make it safe at all, because they'll come right up that hook and it's more than twice the length of your hook, so there's nothing you can really do to stop them. You need to understand them, you need to know how to bring down the tension. Like the skills that you have are absolutely essential, and anything less and it's going to go completely sideways.
So that being said, I'm going to try and get her into the can. I'm probably going to have to put the hook down at some point, because that is just, it's not easy to get her into a can just using a hook. So we'll see if I can do this nice and smooth. She's growling right now, if you want to get a good look at her. We'll see how this goes. So you can see why it can be quite complicated to use a hook in some moments, especially with a snake as large as that.
I'll tell you, you know, when you watch the videos, you can at least sit back and go, he's probably going to be fine, right? This is on a video.
Yeah, I uploaded it.
When you watch it live, right when it's happening, I'm just like, you got this. Like, do not let him get bitten right now. Like,
yeah.
You know, and the thing is, you did an amazing job, right? At no point were you close. You have had a wildlife. Like
I have had a wildlife.
Completely wildlife, and it's amazing, and I'm glad the world has you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we could finally meet, because I've been seeing your videos online, and I really do enjoy it. I enjoy watching what you do and educating the public on what's a good pet, what's not a good pet, because there's a lot of people out there that just, they have a lot of cash and they just want to buy something cool, and they just don't realize they're getting themselves into something that they can't manage, as well as the animal is not gonna prevail. It's not gonna do so well with an experience.
To be perfectly honest, before I met you for the first time, you know, I had a very different impression of who you are. Getting to know you personally, you know, your passion for these animals, for conservation, for the natural world, it's unlike anyone else I've ever met.
Thank you.
And I could not be more excited about the fact that you are bringing a lot of people into your passion, that you're making them care about these animals.
I love you, man. Do you want to clean some King Cobra poop now?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go clean some poop. clean this glass because she pooped on the glass, but give us a good review of what you think about this King Cobra poop, because we don't have smell-o-vision, and I try my best to explain how nasty it is.
It's got a certain thickness. It's not a really objectionable aroma, but it has a thickness, like skunk musk, you know?
I don't know how you feel about bacteria and germs. You can reach in there and grab it with your hands, or I'll get you some paper towels right now.
How often do I get to grab King Cobra poop?
I love your enthusiasm. Hey, if you ever want to move down to Florida, you got a job with me, that's for sure.
Giddy up.
I'm gonna go get some paper towels, and I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
If Kevin gets out, just put him back in, okay?
Deal. For one thing, I'm a guest in his house. He's making me clean up this crap. Are you serious? Not really. This is a blast. But Chandler's an awesome guy. I didn't know what to think of him when I first met him. You know, is it for real? You know, is it just for attention? No. This is Chandler's life. He is all about these animals and animals in the natural world, and he is doing. I mean, he's just giving everything that he has. You'll see in the future how much Chandler sacrifices to promote conservation and just the well-being of these animals in captivity and in the wild. He's going to change the world, and I'm grateful that he's got a lot of people like you guys that support him, that support this channel, because it's helping him achieve things that are just almost impossible to achieve without this kind of support from the community around you. This guy's going to do big things. So thanks for supporting him.
Alright, we did a great job cleaning up. All we gotta do now is put in some fresh mulch. And I'll do that for you, since you did the hard part. Spread that all around, add some good humidity. She's gonna love it. And we'll put her favorite tortoiseshell right back in there. It's a sulcata that passed away many years ago, and she loves to hide in it. That last piece, and now we can put Justina back. Okay, so we're ready, good to go. I want you right here in this room. All right, you can hear her hissing. You can come over here if you like, and then as I bring her out, just back up a little bit.
Deal.
So I'll use the hook to let her out. She's already ready to go. Hey, sweetie. So Kevin does not growl because he doesn't see me as a threat, but Justina loves to growl and let me know she's not happy. She is a beast. She's got to be at least 12, 13 feet long. She's definitely a beast of a King Cobra. And as you can see, she's got great size to her. She's a beautiful animal, but she can be very defensive as well. Don't eat my Russell's Vipers. Relax. So what I'll do is I'll hook her. Oh, there we go. We'll get her right into that enclosure. Ooh, it can be quite difficult with such a large snake. There we go. Here, Clint, come here. Feel her tail, she goes. She's just such a beast of a snake. Ooh, high five. I can close that enclosure. Awesome. Thank you so much for helping me clean the enclosure. I really appreciate it.
Best.
I can't wait for you to come back down and do some more collaborations. Clint, check out Clint's Reptiles, an awesome YouTube channel, and they give a lot of information out on certain pet reptiles and just many different topics. Really giving them the right info for people just getting into the hobby, learning about these beautiful animals. Check him out on his channel. In the future, we're definitely going to be doing more collaborations, especially at the new facility.
I'm so excited about it.
I'm going to need a hand collecting Cuban crocodile eggs in the future. I think he's the right one to do it. Clint, love you, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Amazing, Chandler.
I know you got a flight to catch.
I gotta run.
Let's get out of here.
That was amazing.
That was it. I'll see you on the next one. Stay beautiful, stay safe. Check us out on Patreon. Check us out on Teespring to get your own merchandise. Stay beautiful, stay gangster, and I'll see you on the next one. But I don't see the black mamba.
That's what you want to hear.